Hey guys, welcome back. It's Tomby. Today I want to show you guys something really exciting that I've been planning for a couple months now, and that is rebuilding my plant collection. I started collecting plants when I first moved to LA in 2019, and in the beginning of the pandemic I got really into plant care, and I had a lot of houseplants in my old apartment. When I moved here about a year ago, I unfortunately was going through a couple personal things. I developed some depression, and unfortunately I neglected a lot of my plants. So most of them actually died, but there are a couple of them that are still alive and I have cuttings of, like this plant. This is actually a plant that I got a long time ago from cuttings, and this is a cutting of a larger plant that I have. And I'm so thankful that this plant has survived. But since then I've been wanting to get back into plants and plant care and using that as a kind of way to take care of my own mental health. Because it can be really nice to feel like you're taking care of something else, and in a way that is self-care. So there are a couple different things that I want to show you in this video. First, I want to show you a few of the new plants that I just bought the other day when I went to the nursery with my friend. There are a couple plants that I want to pot, including this one. And then I want to show you some of the cuttings that I've received from friends and online. And then finally, I'm going to show you how to make a prop box with really simple and cheap materials. It's so easy, you can do it at home, and it's really great for propagating and rooting the cuttings that you get. And this is going to be sort of an ongoing project of me slowly building up my plant collection again and take you along with me on my plant care journey. So if you're interested in plant care and you're starting your own plant journey and you want to follow along, then please remember to like and subscribe. But anyways, let's get started. First thing that I want to talk to you guys about is the new plants that I just bought when I went to the nursery, and then I later went to IKEA. These three plants are from the nursery and this plant is from IKEA. So this first plant is a Ludicea macotes, and this is called a jewel orchid. As I was walking out of the nursery, I saw them start to stock these and I was like, what is that? I have never been one for darker foliage or brightly colored foliage. I'm more of I just like green leaves, and I actually don't even like most variegated plants. But this plant in particular, I thought was so beautiful. It has like a really dark green and a bright pink vein. And I just thought it was so pretty, and it was like $4. So I just had to get it. This is a heartleaf philodendron lemon lime. I had one of these before and it was thriving for a long time in my old apartment, but unfortunately that plant also died. So I just wanted to get this to replace it because I love heartleaf philodendrons, and also it was 50% off, so that was great. Another plant that I got that I actually never really a leaf just came off. I never really understood the hype around this plant, which is a string of hearts. I believe this is a variegated string of hearts, and it's just it was really cute. It was small. It also had a couple other plants that were growing in this pot, so I was like, oh, it's like 3 plants in one. Obviously one of them is a succulent. I actually have no idea what the other one is. It could just be a weed. But this string of hearts I'm gonna propagate and try and make a lot more full and lush. And lastly, I went to IKEA and I found this Sansevieria cylindrica, which is a snake plant, but cylindrical. And it actually has some additional leaves that are coming out that are not cylindrical, so I actually have no idea how this plant works at all. It has little babies that are looking like normal snake plants, but the center part is all just like spikes. And I just really like the shape of that, more so than the regular snake plant. So those are the 4 plants that I just bought the other day, and I'm really happy with these because I never had any of these plants before, so I'm just excited to kind of see how they grow and take good care of them. So I think now is a good time to do my repotting. I'm going to be repotting these 2 plants. One is this philodendron burley marks, which is one of my favorite plants. It survived everything. And then the other one is this, what is this called? Peperomia obtusifolia, something like that. And this also survived a lot, but the mother plant was not looking very healthy, so these are cuttings that I took from the mother plant and have been already rooted in soil, and I'm going to be transferring it to these clear pots that I actually bought online. And I'm really excited for these because I feel like it'll be really interesting to watch the roots grow on the inside of the pot. or at least I'm hoping that's what's gonna happen. And I'm hoping I'll also be able to see the water move up when I'm watering my plants from the bottom. So we have some soil here. This is just regular Miracle-Gro. It is what I had at my house already. And it is a little bit like old and dry, so I'm just gonna break it up a little bit with this garden shovel. I'm gonna be adding some coco coir that I just bought. It's still in brick form. We're gonna rehydrate this so that we can add it to the soil and it'll be a little bit more aerated. I wonder if I should move the camera so that you guys can better see what's going on here. Let me do that. Okay, so here I am with my bucket of dirt. I'm just trying to break up any like large clumps before I start to add my coco coir, which I also have to hydrate. Right now it's like a compressed brick. When we put it in water, it's gonna expand and then start to separate. I have this glass jar and some water. I'll pour into it and I'm just gonna put the brick in it and let it soak for a little bit. And we'll see how it looks in a couple minutes. Okay, as you can see, it has already expanded a ton from when I first just like dropped it in the water. And I'm just gonna start to crumble it a bit off and try not to get it everywhere. Oh, gosh, that's what I was afraid of doing. All right, I think that's good enough for now. I'm gonna put this to the side and I'm gonna try and clean up myself. Let that be a lesson to you to not repot your plants in your room, over your rug. I'm gonna keep doing it though. So this is our coco coir. It has expanded and I'm just gonna break this up a little bit before I go ahead and dump this in with the rest of my potting soil. I think this is about 1/3 of the amount of potting soil that I have. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use my hands to mix this because I feel like I can do a better job than using the shovel. Alright, I think I've mixed this up pretty well now, and I'm gonna plant this philodendron first, and I'm gonna use this small clear cup, add a little bit of soil at the bottom, and gently compact it. Now this has been sitting in water for, I don't know, maybe 2 months now. This is actually a lot more roots than I realized that it had, but we're just gonna lay this down. This is probably more roots than I would typically want for a cutting because the longer you keep roots in water, the more used to the water they get, and they're not as strong as roots grown in soil. I'm gonna start to fill it. Again, I'm really gently just sort of using my finger to compact the soil so that the plant can stay upright. All right, and here's my repotted philodendron. What I'm so happy about already is that you can see the roots from inside the pot. I'm excited to see how it grows and show you guys the updates on the root growth over time. I think it'll be really cool to see how filled up it gets. I'm just gonna set this over here so it doesn't get dirt in other places. All right, next up is my peperomia, but I'm just gonna transfer it over to this. My instinct is telling me that it's not gonna show the roots because they usually don't go too deep, but we'll just move them to, we'll move them to the other pot and see what happens. All right, and here's our repot peperomia. When I water it, I'll try to get off some of the extra dirt that I have on the leaves, but this is pretty good for now. All right, the last thing that I want to talk about are the cuttings that I've received. If you haven't spent much time with houseplants, then you might not know that a lot of plants can be cloned or propagated by taking small cuttings of existing plants. And so all of these are plants that were already existing. I took a little snipping of them, either from friends or I walked around the neighborhood and asked my neighbors. And yeah, they are in this box to keep in the humidity, and that's gonna help them grow roots and eventually develop into a real full plant. So let me go ahead and show you what cuttings I have in this box right now. So this is my prop box, and so I have a Philodendron Brazil cutting here, another Philodendron Brazil cutting here, the leaf hasn't unfurled yet. These are Philodendron micans, which has this really nice velvety texture to it. I'm really excited for these. This is a cutting of the string of hearts that I took from the plant that I bought last week. This, I believe, is a reed orchid. I just found this on the ground, so I decided to take it. I am not sure if that's gonna root or not, but we're just gonna try and see. And then the last thing here on this side is a Dracaena. And the Dracaena, I'm not entirely sure is gonna make it because these are pretty woody. This is an older part of the plant, so I'm not 100% sure that it's gonna grow, but we're just gonna try and see if it does. So these are all the props that I have, and I want to show you how I made this prop box. It's really very simple, and it does such a good job of keeping the humidity that is necessary for your plants to grow roots. Okay, what you're gonna need to do this is you're gonna need a container with a clear lid, and of course this is just a leftover container from Thai food takeout. And if you order a lot of Thai food, then you probably have a bunch of these sitting around already. But you can definitely use this. I'm gonna be working with this prop tray that I bought separately because I already made this prop box, and now I want to fill this prop box with moss as well. This box is a little bit different because it has another tray inside that is perforated like this, and I like this because I hope that means that the air is going to circulate better from underneath and kind of give the roots and the plant a little more room to breathe. The one other thing that you're gonna need is sphagnum moss. Usually it comes in a brick similar to the coco coir that I was using before, and it's just dried, and we're gonna have to rehydrate it. I'm gonna use the same vase that I had before for the coco coir because I don't think it's a big deal if the coco coir is mixed in a little with my moss. We're using moss as the rooting medium for a couple reasons. First of all, it does a really great job at retaining water. And the other thing is that it's quite porous. Like, you know, it has all these little bits and pieces, and airflow can kind of get through, which is really important. So because the moss comes initially in this kind of compressed block form, just make sure that you also do a good job of trying to break it up. And this is probably way more than I need for this tray. I kind of added the perfect amount of water, but if you have a lot of excess water, you're gonna wanna squeeze it out. You don't want the moss to be dripping or wet. You just want it to be a little bit damp, and that way the humidity is maintained inside your box. And I'm just gonna lightly lay this over my tray. So that's looking pretty good, and I made this and I realized I don't really actually have any cuttings right now to put on this besides the ones that are already in my other prop box, but I do have a friend sending me a bunch of cuttings, and I'm gonna get another few cuttings from a Facebook plant swap group in the next week. So I'm just gonna do another update when that happens, and I'll show you how to take the cuttings, identify the important parts of the cuttings, and how to put them on your prop tray so that they can grow roots. This is our prop tray. Again, you can do this with any container with a clear top because the light needs to get in. So really great things are Thai food takeout containers, Tupperware, plastic bins. You can use all those things. You don't have to use this tray that I bought. Yeah, it's really simple and very easy. So that's gonna be everything for today. We talked about a lot of things. We talked about new plants that I just bought. We repotted these two plants. We talked about cuttings and how to make a prop box. And I'm excited to keep talking about plants with you guys. It's something that I'm really passionate about and was actually one of the things that motivated me to start making ceramics because I wanted to make plant pots for my plants. And now that I'm finally feeling better and able to get back into plant care, I'm really excited to share that with you guys. So thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed this video, please remember to like and subscribe. If you have stories about your own plant journey that you'd like to share, please leave it in the comments below. I'm so excited to keep sharing this journey with you guys, and so are my plants. And I have all sorts of cool projects that I want to share with you guys. I have ceramics, I have weaving, textiles, all sorts of stuff. So stay tuned, and I'll catch you next time. Bye!